Good morning, my name is Ashley Terrell. This is Scott Gwatney. We are here for today's episode of Coffee Chat. How are you today?
I'm good, how are you?
Good, good. So today we're going to talk about Secure Act 2.0.
Yep.
What do you think?
Well, first off, it's a lot. I mean, we have some paperwork here today, and I think it's a summary of 15 pages. Overall, it's 80 plus pages in the new Secure Act. I mean, they're not even finished with Secure Act 1.0 and the implementations of those changes. And we have another set of changes that they had to kind of squeeze in before the change in Congress. So, of course, going through this, trying to see what benefits all the clients, but just from a high standpoint today, that's what we kind of want to go over. Just kind of go over some of the tidbits that are going to affect our clients directly. There's a lot in there for our business owners and things like that. That's going to be more detailed, and this is something as time goes on, we'll get a better grasp of what all we have in here, but really touching base on a few things that we think are really going to impact our retirees and our clients, not just the business owners, and just kind of everyone as a whole. And we'll kind of go over that today and just see what's, what we can find that's beneficial.
From my understanding, there's going to be more to come as well, right?
Yes, there's going to be more to come as well. So 2.0, they're not done. They're going to continue to try to make some changes, and as that goes on, we'll cover a few today, but this isn't going to be the end. Like I said, they're not even finished implementing the first Secure Act, and yet we have a second one. So just need to try to stay on top of the changes and take care of the changes that are going to benefit our clients the most.
Yep. So what do you think is the most important update?
There's a lot, but I think for us the most important one is probably going to be the increase in age for RMDs. Because being retirement planners, that's exactly where we kind of concentrate with our clients, and that affects, I'm sure 70% or more of our clients. So the change that we have coming this year, and I think you know a little bit more about it, but we went from 69 and a half to 72 with the first one. And then from this one, we're going to go all the way up to 75 in different tiers in different years. So.
And the first move is going to be for this year at 73.
Yep. So if you turned 72 last year, you didn't catch a break. But if you turned 71 last year, we don't have to worry about the RMDs this year. We're actually going to be able to wait the following year to 73 for everyone. So even those in their 60s, now we've kicked the can a few more years down the road. And then that's just going to be this year, and then they're going to go all the way to 75 in 2033. So between now and 2033, we have a set day of age of 73. In 2033, we'll have 75. So our younger clients, that's something that when we put plans together, or next time we sit down for an annual review, we need to tweak and make changes to our e-monies and those projections to implement. Hey, if
reflect
you don't
that change,
exactly, if you don't turn 75 until 2034, well, we're not going to need to do RMDs between now and then. So I mean, we're this year, as we do ARs and even new clients coming on, we're going to go ahead and make those changes to those plans. That way they're more accurate, and we'll see if it's more beneficial, and does it truly help people out as much as they were hoping it did when they passed the law.
And that is really good to note. What about the matching student loan payments? Can you tell us a little bit about that?
On that one, that's a way that they're trying to encourage younger people to contribute to their retirement plans. So before it was, hey, I know I get a 4% match, but for whatever reason, I can't afford to do that. Well, this is an incentive saying, hey, look, you go ahead and put in that 4%. Because a lot of this is, student loan debt being an all-time highs. Kids are coming out of school saying, hey, I put in 4%, but why am I putting in 4% at 22, 25, 28 years old for something I can't touch until 60?
Meanwhile, I have these
student loans that are just piling up. So I would rather take this 4%, 5%, and put it here. This is saying, hey, we get it, we understand. Take your 4% and put it here. The employer match you were getting, so you put in 4, company puts in 4. Now that company can put that 4% towards your student loans. So it encourages, the younger generation to start saving for retirement. They're putting away their 4, 5, 6%, whatever it may be, and that company match 4, 5, 6% instead of going into the IRA. They're able to use it to pay off student loans. So it's kind of a way just to entice the younger generation to try to start participating and planning for retirement.
That's definitely something that I can think of a lot of people can take advantage of. So
absolutely.
That's good to know. Another good thing to note is beneficiaries of 529s can actually take those unused funds and roll them into a Roth as well, right?
Yes, I believe it's capped at around $35,000. But that's something that we'll look into. But if you have a 529 plan, before it was you save, you put in $75,000, you have some relatives that put in $75,000. Well, you save up $150,000 for college. Great. Oh, your sweet baby now has a full ride. Oh, well, we can use it for ancillary things for school related, but that big tuition chunk that was going to eat away at that, 50, 100, 150,000 we put aside, it's not going to diminish. So at the end, you would have to say, okay, well, we have 100,000 left. We're going to take it out and just have to pay taxes on it. Now they're saying, okay, wait a minute. The beneficiary of this 529 can actually take some of this and roll it into a Roth. So that's something that it gets a little complex, gets kind of on the tax side. So that's something that's going to be really a case by case basis. But it is an option for those saying, hey, I'm worried about putting all this money aside and not knowing if we're going to truly need it. Well, now if you don't, there is another benefit or another positive to maybe ease some people's minds about actually actively to start contributing to a 529 plan.
Right. It's definitely going to incentivize more investors to utilize those types of programs and vehicles. So that's
tools that are out there that people just probably weren't using, before as much as they should.
Another thing that has changed is the charitable contributions limit, right?
Yes, so it's been annually you can give $100,000 to your favorite charity out of your traditional IRA a year. And you can pass it on to them and not have to worry about paying taxes on that. It goes directly to the charity. You don't pay taxes, they don't pay taxes. It's a wash. Well, it's been that dollar amount for a while. One of the changes that they're saying, hey, that 100,000 starting this year is not going to be indexed for inflation. So it's maybe 100 this year, 101, 103, 105, and maybe, whatever the index unit they're going to use, it won't just stay a flat 100,000 a year. It'll increase as well. There's also a one-time $50,000 contribution you can make in addition to the 100. So from what we've read and what we've been told is you can put in that 100,000 this year. You can put in 150. You can wait a year or two and do 103, 105, whatever it may be, and put in another 50. I think the 50,000 is a one-time a lifetime, but it allows you to get another 50,000 out of a traditional IRA that will affect RMDs down the road that you may otherwise have to pay taxes on, and pass it along to your favorite charity.
Okay, good to know. One thing I noticed as I was reading through this is there's a verb, now indexed for inflation, that I'm seeing a lot in here. You have a lot more experience in the industry than I do, so I'm just curious, is that a term that you have seen a lot, or is that something recent with inflation that you've noticed?
You see it more now. I mean, a lot of things were indexed for inflation, some things weren't, like we saw with the charitable donation amounts. I think with inflation being in the news 100% of the time recently, that's going to be a thing that we're going to start seeing as dollar amounts come for plan participants, for contributions for charities, things like that. We'll see things get more indexed for inflation. We've seen cost of living raises for Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid. You've seen that before, but really you're going to start seeing that verbiage used a lot more because people are more conscious now of how is inflation going to affect everything from eggs to my retirement plan. So. The biggest thing, another big thing too, is penalties. So every year we try to do this. Everyone's responsible for taking their RMDs. Well, up until this year, it's been a 50% penalty you would have to pay.
Which is huge.
It is, if you didn't take what you needed. So that's just saying if you were supposed to take 10,000 out, you had a 50% penalty. You had an extra $5,000 you had to take out in addition to the 10 and pay taxes on. This now has changed, and they've gone from 50 to 25%. And they even say 10% in a timely manner. Now, whether or not these are enforced, well, look, we got another 87,000 IRS agents coming in, so maybe this is something that we'll enforce. I've seen before where CPAs have written letters and gotten, excuses, but this is something that's more favorable to people saying, hey, look, please report it to us. Don't try to scapegoat it. This is just another benefit for incentive for people to get that done in a timely manner and by year's end, which I know we try to do. We run reports. You're heavily involved in making sure that we can help clients get this done in a timely manner to get it taken care of for the end of the year, so we can avoid, even if you don't have to pay a penalty, writing a letter to the IRS is usually nerve-wracking. So try to get them off your back and make sure they don't get you. So.
Understandable. So it's nice to see that they've actually made a legislation have that in writing.
Right. So like I said, there's 85 pages of this. These 15 pages are just, some of the big highlights, and we wanted to go through today and pick out some of the ones that we knew were going to impact clients, both small business clients, personal clients, across the board, just kind of impact. And as time goes on, we'll be able to research more, read more, and be able to figure out on a review basis what's most beneficial for our clients.
Absolutely. So as we start digging more into this, we will release more content, I'm sure.
Absolutely.
But thank you for joining us today, and you guys have a good day.